If you've ever built an AI model, you know that amazing feeling when it finally works. But then you hit the wall. How do you get it out into the world? Well, today we're going to talk about Lepton AI. It's a platform that makes a pretty big promise to make deploying your AI models just as easy as running a simple Python script. So let's see if it actually delivers.
So let's just start with the question that probably keeps a lot of developers up at night. Why is deploying AI so ridiculously hard? I mean, you've spent all this time, maybe weeks, maybe months, training your model, getting it just right. It's working perfectly on your own computer. So what's the problem?
And yeah, this is the heart of the issue, isn't it? We have all been there. Your code runs like a dream on your laptop, but the second you try to move it to a real live production server where other people can use it, everything changes. A whole new universe of complexity just opens up. It's that classic, it works on my machine problem, but, on steroids.
This gap, this chasm between a working model on your desk and a real live application in the wild, well, it has a name. People in the industry call it AI's last mile problem. It's that final, super critical step that honestly can be the most difficult part of the whole process. And here's where that gap gets really wide. All of a sudden, you're not just an AI developer anymore. Nope. Now you're expected to be a master of Docker, packaging your application into these things called containers. And then you have to be a Kubernetes wizard, managing how all those containers run and scale. That's a huge shift in skills, and it's exactly where so many incredible AI projects just stop, dead in their tracks.
Okay, but what if there was a different path? This is where we shift from looking at the problem to digging into a potential solution. And it's one that's been designed from the ground up for people who live and breathe Python. Let's take a look at how Lepton AI tackles this whole mess.
So what is Lepton AI, really? At its core, it's a platform built on one simple, powerful promise. Make deploying to the cloud feel exactly like you're just developing locally on your own machine. The whole idea is to let you stay in your happy place, your Python environment, and just hide away all that messy, complicated infrastructure stuff.
I love this analogy because it just makes everything click. Think about it. With the old way, writing your AI code is like writing a novel. But then, to get it published, you have to become an expert at running a giant, mechanical printing press, binding the books, managing the shipping, the whole thing. Lepton AI wants to be your save and publish button. You just focus on writing the masterpiece, your code, and it handles all the rest.
So how does this actually work, in the real world? Let's follow the journey of a simple piece of code, from your local machine all the way to a live, scalable API up in the cloud. You'll see the jump is surprisingly small.
Okay, have a look at this. This is a super standard simple Python function. Let's pretend it's for an app that generates images. It takes a text prompt and it returns an image that your model creates. This is the kind of code every single AI developer writes and tests on their own machine. It's clean, it's familiar, it just works.
Now, watch closely. This is the change. You import something called Photon from the Lepton library, and then you add one single line of code, this @photon thing. It's called a decorator, right above your function. That is literally it. That one line is a signal to Lepton. It tells it to take this function, all its dependencies, the model it uses, and package it all up into a ready-to-go, scalable API in the cloud.
So the whole workflow boils down to these three simple steps. First, you decorate your function. Second, and this is a total game changer, you run a command called lepton run. This actually tests your code locally, but it does it inside an environment that perfectly copies the production server in the cloud. This step is designed to absolutely kill the "it works on my machine" problem before you even deploy. And finally, step 3, you type lepton deploy and boom, your code is live on the cloud, ready for the world.
Now, this all sounds pretty amazing, maybe even a little too good to be true. So we have to ask the critical question, is this the right tool for your project, for every developer? Simplicity usually comes with some trade-offs. So let's break down where Lepton really shines and where you might want to look at something else.
Think about what's most important to you. If your number one goal is speed, getting your model into the hands of real users as fast as humanly possible without getting stuck in the weeds of infrastructure, then Lepton is an absolutely fantastic choice. It's really for people who care more about a beautiful, clean developer experience than they do about tweaking every last server setting.
But on the flip side, if your project is this huge, complex web of different services that all have to talk to each other, or if you're the kind of person who needs to fine-tune every single detail of your cloud setup, well, then Lepton's simplicity might start to feel like a limitation.
For those jobs that need maximum control, you might need a different tool.
This table really lays it all out. On the far left, you've got tools like Lepton that are just all in on simplicity. The learning curve is practically zero. Then, as you move to the right, you get a bit more control, maybe a bit more complexity, and way over on the far right, you have the do-it-yourself approach with Docker and Kubernetes. That gives you total, absolute control over everything, but wow, the complexity is just sky high. Lepton plants its flag firmly on the side of simplicity.
And that really brings us to the core idea behind Lepton. It's all about embracing this idea of the simplicity trade-off. It's a very deliberate choice. The choice is to put speed and a great developer experience first, even if that means giving up some of that infinite, granular control.
Okay, so if you're going to walk away with just 3 things, let it be these. 1. Lepton's entire goal is to make deployment feel like a natural part of writing Python. 2. It's built for developers who want to ship amazing models, not become full-time infrastructure experts. And 3. Using Lepton is a conscious choice. You are trading that maximum, granular control for a massive gain in simplicity and speed.
And so that leaves us with one last question, and this one is for you to think about. When you're planning your next AI project, what's going to matter more? Do you need that effortless publish button, or do you need to be the person running the entire printing press? The answer to that question will tell you pretty much everything you need to know about whether a tool like Lepton AI is the right fit for you.